we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am out here with some good friends of the channel. We are here with Dan Kelly.
Hello, everybody.
And Nicholas.
Hi.
And they brought us 2 giant white koi for the pond.
The other one's orange.
Oh.
Fire orange.
A white and an orange one. Cool. So if you guys don't know, right now Florida is going through its dry season, and I think I've mentioned something about things being dry, the water levels lower on the pond, and if you remember in that corner there's that PVC overflow that goes to my swale. The water is up to that for a good part of the year, or maybe like 2 feet off of it, and it's all the way down there. There's plenty of water in the pond, but we do have our algae problem. I mean, the koi isn't gonna be the most aggressive algae eater, but Dan had a problem in his own pond, and that is that the pump that he would use to fill it up and keep the water level right for the fish failed, and they have to dig a whole new well. So for a pond that is more just a recreational fun thing to have in his house, it's a actual very expensive thing for him to do right now. So he's gonna wait till the water level gets a little lower, and he's gonna bring us some shell crackers, some brim, some catfish, some things like that out of there. But he was able to get these 2 out of the pond to save them, because what's happening with the water level being low, raccoons, birds of prey, and things like that are getting all the fish, and he just didn't want anything to happen to these 2.
Jared,
and he
this
wanted
orange
to.
one.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. Holy cow.
I have no idea how to tell them male from female, but honestly, looking at the orange one, she's a lot bigger than she was.
Okay.
Something I've learned about them is that when the water level goes low, they go into preservation mode, i.e. they produce babies.
Okay.
Wow.
You know,
You might end up with a pregnant koi.
Awesome.
Nicholas, do you want to go feed the fish off the dock?
Nah, I think it's just, I think I have acrophobia. That's why.
What is that?
Fear of heights.
Of heights? Well, we can do it off the shore. We don't have to go on the dock.
Off the shore, I feel like.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go feed all the fish, and I can actually show exactly what Dan was saying, is that the water level is low and all the fish in our pond are bedding. Just like he said, if Kagan's gonna go grab a handful of food for Nicholas, and underneath the dock is where all the brim and bluegill are choosing to bed right now. So it is full of fish beds, and all the brim are protecting their little divots or beds underneath there. So you should be able to toss some food out. You're gonna need to get it just a couple feet out there. There's a good rock right here to stand on, Nicholas, right next to me. See right here?
Yeah.
But there's big bluegill, right? If you throw some food out there, they'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yep, wrong spot, brother. There you go. A little more.
Go ahead and get it under the dock. That's where.
A little stronger, Bubba. There you go.
Nice throw.
Just,
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, look at him go.
No, they're used to getting fed out further, and I wonder if the fish on the beds are going to eat as aggressive. They're learning. And there's something else I discovered today that we are going to address later in this same video. I cut the grass and weed whacked around the pond, and I found a bed where a tilapia is bedding in our pond. That's the one fish we don't want in here. Even though it's a great food source for the lizards, tilapia will take over the pond. They're really aggressive bedders, and they will chase when they find a good place to bed. If the tilapia decides this is where it wants to bed, it will chase all the brim off the prime bedding area. So we don't want tilapia breeding in here. So I think we're gonna dig up an earthworm and set Kagan up and try and get her to catch it. but that comes later. Let's see if we can get these koi in the pond. So we were thinking about releasing the fish by the dock, but then I was like, maybe the shade under the dock's not gonna allow you guys to see the fish swim off, which is gonna be the highlight of it, because once you get them in the water and they swim off, that's it. They're gone. They're gonna just disappear into this until they wanna be seen. So we walked over to this corner, and I think the bank has the least amount of weeds. I'll probably just take my shoes off, and it's got them in the ice chest, so we'll just be able to pull the ice chest to the shore and lift them up and release them safely, and we should get to see them swim off. So it should be pretty cool. I am excited. Are you excited?
Very excited. All right, so we've got one of the coolers out with one of the koi in it, and we are about to see Jerry get his feet wet.
Well,
And get this
what
fish
I'm
in the
doing
water.
right now is wetting my arms. You don't want to touch a fish's slime with dry hands, because you take his protective layer away from him or her.
This one's the spunky one.
Very bad. Very bad. Oh, there's a red one.
Oh, that's what I didn't want to do. Hold on.
It's probably still
It's right here.
I have to know about the red mark though.
It's right there.
This could be a new fish for
Yeah, there she
a
is.
while.
There she goes. For heat.
Oh yeah,
I think.
that's awesome.
Are there more? Like,
You can see him pretty well on
Settling
camera.
right down there, not swimming too far. The bottom is much colder than the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell.
She came out of some really nice, cool water.
Yep. I probably wouldn't dump that in your pond, Jerry,
Why is that?
because I get over. Well, probably don't want to introduce my algae into your algae. In case I got something different.
Okay.
We're gonna get that other koi out in just a second here. So that one
Okay.
was white, and it's got like one little
Yeah, I mean, that's
orangey red scale on it, which is really pretty. But this next one is bright, vibrant red, which is really, really cool. We were looking at it in the cooler just a little bit ago, and it was absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna pull that out here in just a second. All right, so we've got the second bin out now with that awesome orange, fire orange koi in it.
Here, you're taking if you want to get it.
Oh man,
it's unbelievable.
that thing is so bright. Holy cow.
This one's easier to handle, or at least was going in. And this is the one I believe is pregnant, if it's actually a female. Nice. They will find each other, I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
Circled back right by me.
Yeah.
He's already looking. Fishing.
So you were saying that those two liked hanging out.
They hang out all the time, and they did create a divot, so a nest for somebody.
How cool would that be
So you
if
might
we
have
woke
a
up one
pond
day
full of koi.
and they were baby koi in this pond?
See, you can see the red one easy. For orange.
That's not the white one? No, that is the orange one.
Yeah, the white one's easier when it's on the surface.
I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not,
Systematically looking for it.
but that is pretty awesome.
It seems
So we're standing out here and we've just been watching the new orange one in the water. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but we've been watching the orange one kind of circle this area back and forth, and the orange one and the white one have found each other and they are just going in circles. Oh, there he just goes popping the surface. How cool is that? That is awesome to see them find each other.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you were willing to do this.
All right, so exciting development. We didn't get it on film. Maybe I can insert a picture, Tom. Like 6 months ago, my mom had a koi fish. Well, you know what? How typical is this story? Someone has a fish in their aquarium. It grows too big for their aquarium. They start looking for a place to let it go. But my mom did want to let it go into a controlled pond, my pond, that doesn't connect to any other body of water. So we let this little white koi loose in my pond, let it go, and never saw it again. At least 6 months ago. Haven't seen this koi. Today, the 2 new fish are swimming around the pond. Guess who shows up? And at least twice as big. My mom's koi fish. She's gonna be so excited to hear that it's still alive and thriving, fat as can be, eating all the algae and vegetation in this pond. So, on to the next thing. I had a plant to put in the ground, a loquat tree, dug the hole for it, caught a few earthworms, and we're going to go over where that tilapia bed is and catch that big tilapia out of the pond. If Kagan can keep it on the hook, she's gonna have a fight and a half getting this sucker in, because it's a pretty big tilapia. I got a rod set up, small hook, little split shot sinker, little bobber, and there's my little container with soil and worms. We're gonna ride the golf cart over there so we have somewhere soft to sit, right, Pete? Somewhere soft to sit, and we're gonna catch this fish out of the pond.
All right, so Jerry is about to put this earthworm on this hook.
On the hook, or through the hook, through the worm, or my finger?
No, definitely not your finger.
Huh? It's tricky. We're gonna put the hook through that little earthworm like twice.
And what he's gonna do is he's gonna go plunk it right in the water over there, right on top of that tilapia's bed.
On its bed, so it's gonna want to defend its bed and pick up the earthworm and take it off its bed, even if it doesn't want to eat it. But I'm also gonna try not to scare it away when I do this. It's going to take off. I want it to go into the bed. There's brim all around it, so I don't want a brim to come end up eating this.
Well, you got more than one worm, right?
One whole one and then a couple pieces of them. He's gonna take off where he's at. Okay, that worm is sitting dead center of its bed. The problem is the tilapia took off, and now the brim and baby bass are running into its bed. So now what's going to happen is one of the baby bass or brim is going to eat the worm, unless that tilapia rushes back in, which I don't see it right now. Oh, come on. Hurry up, tilapia. It should get mad and want to rush in and defend its bed. There's all sorts of fish on its bed right now.
Yeah, there's tons.
How are they not eating your worm? Yeah, I see him out there. All right, he's about to swim in. Oh no, someone's nibbling your worm. The tilapia is still deciding whether or not it wants to come in. It's hanging out to the outside. All right, here it comes. Don't move. It sees all that.
Oh, I see him.
He's to the outside. All right, I'll click play as soon as something good happens.
So, trying to catch the fish the conventional way with that bait did not work. So Jerry came up with a different solution.
So I have my tilapia crossbow. I mean, this is what I've always used in the past for catching tilapia.
I think he's really got it out for this fish.
Well, we want them out of the pond. I haven't shot this thing in a long time, so it's been a while since I shot it, so we're just gonna see what happens. I don't even know where the power button is for my my sight. Used to know.
I'll tune us back in once he's got his eyes set on it.
Swing and a miss.
That's pretty cool though.
Wasn't far from my target.
Is that gonna scare him off? Do we have to wait for a little while before he's gonna come back?
A little bit. It should go right back to its bed. Okay, so yesterday we used the crossbow. Hadn't used it in a long time. I did get some good shots in, but I know that I need to go in an area that's target rich to test it, because you can't sight in your crossbow or your fishing bow unless you're really shooting at the fish. And then once you know where your sight is, if it's 2 inches below, the fish needs to be 2 inches below or above your sight or below or whatever. Once if it's sighted in, then you could be spot on every time. But I haven't touched it in 1.5 years, and I pulled it out and I don't remember where the sight was supposed to be. Had some close shots, but we just couldn't get the fish. So then this morning I was like, you know what? I saw another one. So now we see 2 tilapia in our pond. So now we have a problem. We need to get these fish out of the pond. The female was probably on the bed. The other one was probably a male, or maybe another female. Maybe we have multiples.
Yeah.
Who knows? There's so much vegetation in this pond on the bottom, just like that young koi. Did we say that on film yet?
I think so.
I think we did.
Yeah.
The koi that my mom let go like over 6 months ago, hadn't seen it, and then all of a sudden now we've seen it yesterday, today, like it's swimming around now. There's fish in here we probably haven't ever seen. And so we're gonna have to work on the tilapia. We're gonna have to sight in the crossbow so we can get them out. They're a great food source for us and the monitor lizards. But we don't want our pond ridden with them because they will take over. So I put on a treble hook. Fishermen will call it a snag hook. It's not allowed on a lot of species. It's not fishing. You are throwing a triple hook out over the fish, dragging it to the fish, and when it gets in its vicinity, setting the hook. And I got contact with it this morning, and then it was real spooky for a while, and Kagan and I were looking and trying to find the fish in the pond. And she went in to do some laundry and do some other stuff, and I walked over and boom, the fish presented itself. I got a perfect shot. So then I was like, Kagan, I got it. But let's see, she's gonna be a little fired up. She's gonna be upset when I put my hand in her gill. But That is a nice blue tilapia.
Look how big that thing is.
Did you get a little fishy with that?
I did.
Yeah. And then remember those lips, they almost looked weird in the water, but you know, it's a vegetation eater. They will eat earthworms and stuff like that and some other stuff, but they'll use those lips and protect their area, their bed, and just in general, the area, and they'll chase off other fish. And what they'll do with those lips that have sandpaper on them, that grit is like sandpaper. Give it a feel.
Oh gosh.
So it's very rough.
Yeah,
so those lips will take the slime, scales, and stuff off smaller fish and then open them up to bacteria and make them susceptible to stuff like that. So basically, they'll peck or bite or beat up the other fish to a point where they pass away. So that's how a large population of these in your pond will beat up all your other fish.
Yeah.
Until there's just tilapia in your pond.
It's a beautiful fish.
It's gonna be, we're gonna eat it. We're gonna eat this fish tonight. And then the monitors will get the carcass, the head meat, the backbone, fins, all that other, the belly meat.
Yeah.
They'll get all that tomorrow. So we're gonna put it on ice.
That blue is so pretty.
On the color on the tail.
Color on the tail, yeah.
They're strong fish. Gonna put it on ice, let it get good and cold, and then once it's nice and chilled, then we'll fillet it up and cook it for dinner. All right, the tilapia is good and cold now, so we're gonna get the fillets off of it.
I still can't believe that thing came out of the pond.
Yeah, you never know.
Wow. She's got a lot of meat on her.
Now somebody who fishes for a living could crucify me for my fillet, but keep in mind, any waste I have on my fillet is going to the monitors, so.
So that's why you said
The scales didn't matter.
yeah.
Now I always do my rough cleaning outside. Once we get it inside, we'll get it on a little cutting board in the kitchen. We'll check for any bones, we'll clean out the bloodline. But I mean, that's a nice size fillet. All that belly meat, the head, everything, the monitors are gonna eat tomorrow. We're just gonna put it in that bucket. That'll sit in the garage tonight. Now that's the thing, is like we could have tilapia in the pond and have this food fish, because they are great to eat. They got a bad rap with the way they're farmed. They end up cleaning the waste after another primary farmed fish, like say salmon. They'll actually eat the salmon poop in a secondary tank to clean the water. And so, you know, when people started looking into how they're farmed, lots of people eat mullet. Mullet eat detritus or rotting plant matter. It's lots of fish make use of that. But left alone, like not in that environment, they eat just a lot of aquatic plants. Tilapia will.
And you were saying earlier, if they were in the pond, it really wouldn't let other fish thrive because of the way they pick on them.
Yeah, they would pick on the other fish. So I'm sure this fish has hurt the brim population by not allowing them to bed in the ideal spots. It has competed for the best bedding areas and chased the brim off. Fish like this, you definitely don't want to puncture their stomach. That was a better fillet. It went over the rib cage and got the rib cage meat off of it. But again, if we would have left it, the monitors would have benefited from that. So that's still, there's still like 3 pounds of fish for the monitors. There's probably a whole bunch of plant matter inside its belly. There's also probably roe or fish eggs inside of it, which the monitors are gonna love.
Oh man.
I had a bad start on that fillet. Hopefully I fix it. All right, I fixed it. It's best to use a flexible knife when you're skinning fish like that. See? Nice.
That's awesome.
Watch the prop. It's an old boat prop from my grandpa.
I don't think it's gonna move. I think it's too heavy.
Yeah, that's a nice amount of fish. Cool. And we didn't have to go far to get it.
No, we didn't.
All right, it's gonna be cooked shortly. All right, dinner is ready. A real pretty salad and that tilapia that we took out of the pond. I'm about to sneeze. From shaking the pepper on the salad. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna get this food in us. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.